Hey everybody, it's Drayton from Scale Trains, and today, this Rivet Counter Spotlight video is going to be a little bit different. In this video, we're going to be taking a look at the differences between the Pullman-Standard and the Procor built 5820 cubic foot covered hopper. We get a lot of questions from modelers asking us, hey, really, what's the difference between these two cars? It's really hard for me to tell, and why do I even need to get one for my model railroad? We're going to take a deep look at those details and why you need to add one to your model railroad. So sit back, relax, and let's learn about these unique prototypes. So just like the song, one of these cars are not like the other. The Procor car, for example, has 19 posts that are evenly spaced out along the sides. They also have a curved roof profile, and they also have stiffener ribs along the roof line. Those are the clear-cut, easiest ways to spot the difference between the Procor and the Pullman-Standard car. Another thing to note is that they have some stiffener ribs on the slope side sheet, so when you're looking at either end of the car, if you look up at the slope as it comes down from the top of the car, they have two stiffener ribs basically to give the car some more sturdiness. They also have an interesting jacking pad setup. It's basically your traditional jacking pad, but also combined with the roping eye look. Another thing is that the Procor car has much taller stirrup steps, whereas the Pullman-Standard car has a tall stirrup step, but an additional step just as you're climbing up toward the car. So those are important differences. Another thing to note between the two cars is that the Pullman-Standard car, the later versions of the car have 19 posts as well, but unlike the Procor car, they are not evenly spaced. Earlier versions of the Pullman-Standard car have 17 side panels, and they also had what was a V-shaped roof, or what we would call an apex roof. Later versions of the Pullman-Standard car have the signature clear story roof line. When you're trackside, the easiest way, that's what I look for when I'm rail fanning. I look at that, I'm like, oh, is that a Pullman-Standard or is that a Procor? The easiest way is to look at that unique roof design that was implemented in other Pullman-Standard cars. Very easy to tell the difference when you just look at the roof line. It's right under the walkway, hard to miss. So those are the key spotting features between the two. And, as a modeler, it's kind of like an Autorack, right? There are so many different Autoracks on the railroads today, and even back in the 80s and 90s, there were different manufacturers, different body styles, and things like that. Still an Autorack, still a similar car. I mean, you could really do this with any freight car. Tank cars, for example, some are bigger, some are smaller, some have different types of hoods and hatches and all kinds of different things like that. But at the end of the day, it's still a tank car. And essentially, those types of cars run together. So whether you're looking to get a Procor car or a Pullman-Standard car, these types of rail cars would have run together in similar situations, whether they were going to a petroleum plant to be filled with plastic pellets or going to a manufacturer. For instance, here in Chattanooga, there's actually a company that makes buckets, and they get deliveries of plastic pellets. I have not seen them deliver these pellets in the 5820s, but I know that they've got them in the past. And so, whether you have a small industry on your railroad or a huge processing plant, these cars will look right at home. And you can mix them in, Pullman-Standard cars and the Procors, and it won't look unprototypical. So, in the real world, no rail cars are really the same. Everyone is a little bit different. And so as a modeler, it's important that we replicate that variety on our layout. So in this run, we have a variety of different road names. We have classic and contemporary road names. This car has a lifespan of over 50 years. So, whether you're a guy that models the 70s or a guy that, models the modern day era, we've got something for you. The 70s version cars and 80s version cars, they're much more colorful. A lot of them have the billboard style lettering. You've got the Moplin car and the Novamont car. Those are probably my two favorite cars. I really like the way that those look. And then the later version cars are part of Pullman-Standard's leased fleet. We posted an interesting article actually about the history of the Pullman-Standard lease fleet and who owns them. Believe it or not, Wells Fargo now owns these rail cars. So kind of cool if you're a modern modeler. And of course, we've got the yellow conspicuity striping, which is really important for modelers modeling from 2007 to the present day. So with that said, you're going to want to order these cars now. They're in stock now here at our warehouse in East Tennessee. If you want to order yours, click the link in the video description, visit scaletrains.com, and place your order today. And great news for you N-scalers out there. We recently announced the all-new PS5820 in your scale. So we've got some classic and contemporary road names in N-scale and some of the same road names that we're offering in HO, plus a few that are exclusive to N-scale right now. So if you want those, make sure you click the link in the video description to pre-order your N-scale models now. So I'd like to thank everybody for tuning in. If you haven't subscribed to the Scale Trains YouTube channel yet, make sure you do so and ring the bell to get notifications every time we publish new videos. Another thing I wanted to mention really quickly is on the homepage of our website, there is a community tab toward the bottom of the homepage. If you click on that, we have a lot of really awesome articles, videos, and other materials, photographs and blueprints and things like that in a section of our website known as Time to Model. And we're going to be posting some more information about the 5820s there with some prototype photos. Some of the photos that we showed actually in this video showing the differences between the two types of cars, we're going to make sure we publish those there for Time to Model so that you can use that as a reference. So with that said, thanks again for tuning in. We'll see you next time on the Scale Trains YouTube channel.